My memory's gone.
We almost killed you with the set. Remember when the set fell on you?
Oh, I got squished by a wall. Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
Oh, I remember that.
that little memory.
By a wall.
Oh my God.
I won an Alberta Acting Award for the scene that we shot the next day, and honest to God, I don't remember shooting it.
Welcome, friends and fans, to another episode of GalaxyCon Live, where we are bringing the convention experience directly to you. And today, we are going back to the Ghost River Triangle with 8 members of the cast and creative leadership of Wynonna Earp. So without further ado, let's grab our peacemaker and bring them out. Our first guest is an actress whose credits include Lost Girl, Dark Matter, and Pure. Today, she joins us to talk about her role as the demon-born Jolene. Please welcome Zoie Palmer.
Hello.
Hello, it's good to see you again.
It's good to be seen.
Yes, indeed. How are you doing in your part of the world?
I'm doing great. I'm isolated. I'm hanging out at home for the most part, but all is well. Can't complain.
Hey, well is the new awesome in these crazy times we're in.
That's right.
Indeed. It's an absolute pleasure to see you again, Zoie. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Our next guest is an actress and filmmaker whose body of work includes Utopia Falls, Sweet Tarts Takeaway, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So today she joins us as Black Badge Agent Lucado. Please welcome Kate Drummond.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing well in my corner of the world. Real quick, I just got to ask you, you have something we may have grown up on called a record or a phonograph hanging up behind you, and I just got to ask you, what is that?
Oh, this right there.
Yeah, what album's that?
That is an album, The Songs and Stories by Francis Gardner, who is actually my partner's father.
Oh, wow.
And after he passed, they came across a huge box full of lyrics and songs and narrations and things that he had written. And so as a tribute to his father, they had an artist out of Alberta do the songs, and they made a record out of all of it. So we had it framed as a tribute to his dad.
Oh, that is really awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
Oh yeah, obviously, certainly. So it's like, well, Kate, thanks for joining us here. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Our next guest is an actress whose credits include Departure, Hard Rock Medical, and Longmire. Today she joins us as the Picky Swag Rosita. Please welcome Tamara Duarte.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am well in my corner world down here in Orlando. Great to have you here. And I just want to say, big fan of Longmire, and I really enjoyed your time on that show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks.
Well, very much so. And of course, love you on Wynonna as well. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you joining us.
Thanks.
Indeed. Our next guest is an actress whose credits include Good Witch, Working Moms, and the Banana Splits movie. Today, she joins us as the head of the Gardner family fortune, Mercedes Gardner. Please welcome Dani Kind.
Hi.
Hey. How are you doing?
Good. COVID. Great.
Right. Yeah, that's good. So, what? I'm not asking to show it to you, but what's on the easel behind you? Is that something you're working on?
It's just, I can't. I'm gonna be good today. I'm not gonna say bad things.
Okay.
It's just a painting. I'm just trying to teach myself how to paint. You know, it's like COVID.
Yeah. Keep busy.
Pick up new skills and all those things.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on. Hey,
what did you learn, Patty? What's your COVID new skill?
Baking. I've always been decent at cooking.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me some protein and a grill and an oven. I can roast it. But baking was something that I never had.
Science.
I never had the patience for, and we certainly had this year.
Amazing.
Indeed. Who do I can make biscuits? Well, so say so. All right. I look forward to seeing some of your art someday, and maybe I can try my biscuits. All right, we'll see what's
Our next be a euphemism.
There's a joke in there. Yeah.
Just keep your biscuits to yourself.
Fair. Our next guest is an actor whose credits include The Call, Bates Motel, and Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Today joins us as the leader of the Revenants, Bobo Del Rey. Please welcome Michael Eklund.
A little too close. Okay. We're good.
Classic.
Good indeed. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great.
Glad to have you here. Why?
It's Sunday. It's the best day of the week.
I give you on that. It's Sunday, best day of the week, and we have you all here. So, boss, absolutely great to have you here. Again, I was a fan of Dirk Gently as well, so it's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Indeed. And our next guest is an actor whose credits include Dawn, Anna, Klondike, and Heartland. Today joins us as the former Sheriff Randy. Please welcome Greg Lawson.
Oh, you got me drinking.
Okay.
Is that a drink?
Hi, everybody.
And season's greetings to you, sir.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
It's never
Take your tree down, Greg.
it's
Take your
never
tree
too
down.
late or too early to say Merry Christmas.
Every single day, it's Christmas. It means I get to buy myself something on Amazon.
That is true. That is true, sir.
You
So,
can't fight the logic.
no.
It's logical.
Well, it's logical in these highly illogical times.
There's a reason to the madness.
Absolutely. Greg, glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for asking me.
Absolutely. And our next guest is an actress whose body of work includes Star Trek Discovery, Working Moms, and The Good Witch. Today she joins us as former Sheriff Nicole Haught. Please welcome Kat Barrell.
Yay! Hi! Former sheriff. Ooh, that one hurt.
Well, so is Greg, so, it wasn't nobody's fault. Oh, we have a new panelist, and who's joining us?
He's more interesting than me, so I thought I'd bring him instead.
And what's his name?
This is Bernie.
Bernie. Well, welcome to the show, Bernie. So, Kat, how have you and Bernie been holding up?
We've been holding up great. We've been going for lots of walks and eating delicious foods, and yeah, we've been doing great.
Outstanding. Well, absolutely glad to have you here, and I have many friends who are very fans of you and your character on the show, and
that's very
the
sweet.
roads you've gone upon. So
Thank you very much.
You've touched some friends of mine very deeply, and they appreciate it.
That's awesome. Thank you for saying that.
My pleasure. And finally, she is the writer, producer, and architect of this show. Her body of work includes Lost Girl, Instant Star, and Killjoys. Please welcome showrunner and creator of Wynonna Earp, Emily Andras.
Oh, it works. I can't follow Bernie. That's like
I just use him as my scapegoat whenever I feel awkward. I'm like,
oh man.
That's like Emily. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I already have so many bids on a Dani Kind painting. You have no idea on social media. So, girl, you're gonna make tons of money. No,
I
actually really
Did you see
good.
that one behind you? Was that
What?
My,
Oh, yeah.
my sister did that one.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
My sister's the greatest. Yeah.
Okay,
she's amazing.
the one behind Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Or did she do Creature from the Black
Emily.
Lagoon?
Emily did that one, right?
I did Creature
yeah.
from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100 years old. No. Oh, the orange horse. That is from a pretty high-end store called Wynonna. I don't know if you guys have that in America. I believe it's
Way
called
too steep for me.
Winners.
Wynonna. What is it in
Wynonna,
America?
yeah.
Commercial.
Well, if it's not American, it must be foreign, and if it's foreign, it must be erudite and highbrow to
That's so
to
true.
us Americans. Oh wow, that's nice. And Creature of the Black Lagoon, actually, Riku Browning, the stunt performer in The Guy in the Suit, is a big fan of ours at GalaxyCon. So,
Oh my God, that's so cool! Actually, I love that movie. Oh, cool.
if you want, we're more than happy to get you an autographed picture.
Yes.
Wow.
If you want to mail that picture to us, we'll have him sign that for you.
I'll always be working. I love it, Patty. I want a thin print. That's what I want from the Black Lagoon creature. So
Hold on, let me write that down. Thin print.
thin print, $5,000. Good.
Well, Emily, thank you for joining us, and thank you and these wonderful actors for this program, which is really touched so many fans, and it came out of the gate. I actually was a fan of the comic. I was a fan of Bo Smith from the '80s and his comic book work, and when I heard this being developed, it's like okay, and it was like this is good. This is really good, and it's a credit to your work and your writing staff, and a credit to these actors. And thank you all for joining us.
Bo Smith is the best. Bo Smith is good people, and he deserves the world. So I'm so glad to hear you were a fan.
Oh, absolutely. And we here at GalaxyCon, we're so looking forward to the day when the world does get a little bit back to normal and we can once again host you all on our physical stages and get you all back in front of your fans. In the meantime, though, we are here on the GalaxyCon virtual stage. We're so glad to have you. We have a ton of questions from our audience, so let's go ahead and roll our first one. And this comes from Lee. Are there any stories from the set that you find particularly memorable?
Benny.
I know.
That you feel comfortable acknowledging in a public forum.
Michael, I remember the. Oh, go ahead. No, please.
No. Go.
No, I was just gonna say I remember when Michael was in the rubber suit at the end of season 3. Oh my God, I can't believe we put you in that. And like Michael Eklund is always up for everything. Like he will bury himself in snow, do everything. But I feel like that suit was so hard. Is that fair?
Yes, because I've never walked off set. I've walked off set twice in my life.
Yes.
Like storming out. Never because I'm mad, but probably because something's wrong. And on that day, if you know, it was towards the end of season 3. Yeah. And it was Bobo turned into the lackey. And
All-Stars lackey.
Yeah. And I'm in a rubber jacket and a rubber vest and leather pants and leather boots and a leather hat. And what happens is all your heat stays inside this little furnace and it doesn't have anywhere to release. And heat comes from your head, but I had the hat and basically I was going to faint. But this suit I'm strapped. I can't take it off. It's roped in, it's tied in.
Oh, no, it's made of tires.
It's made out of rubber tires. And so I just remember getting really lightheaded. I was going to pass out. I knew I was sweating a lot. And I was going to pass out. So I pushed it as far as I could. And then finally I just walked off set and I was ripping the thing off. And I had to and the wardrobe department's like, no, don't ruin it. I'm like, I don't care.
No, I'm going to die.
So, yeah, so that was memorable.
Dani, what were you going to say?
Oh, that I harassed Tim to wrestle me this year. But I was in really big heels. And Varun was like, is this really happening? Is this happening? And Tim was like, oh, yeah. And then he picked me up and like kind of body slammed me. And then I was like, heels is not a good idea. But Tim is so fun.
He's a fun guy.
He's just fun to play with.
He sent me a picture of some elk today.
Milk?
Elk. E-L-K.
Oh, wow. He sent me the milk.
Oh, he sent you the milk.
Yeah. You
asshole.
got the elk. Yeah.
I got the elk. I'll take the milk. Yeah. He's taking care of you. He's just yeah.
Who's got
Any elk
another
follow-up questions from the audience?
Oh my God.
Greg must have a memorable moment. You're a memorable guy.
No, my memory's gone.
We almost killed you with the set. Remember when the set fell on you?
Oh, I got squished by a wall. Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
Oh, I remember that.
That little memory.
Right by a wall.
Oh my God.
I won an Alberta Acting Award for the scene that we shot the next day, and honest to God, I don't remember shooting it. So,
the concussion method. Sure.
Greg,
the strangest experiences I've ever had is winning an award for a scene that I don't remember shooting.
You really don't remember shooting it?
No, I honest to God don't remember that.
Greg,
day.
that's like very serious.
No, I think that's just the.
No, I was like 4 out of 10 that day on a scale of 10.
That's just the booze, Greg.
I wasn't feeling good.
Did we give you an Advil at least?
A 4 out of 10.
No, nobody gave me anything. They didn't give me flowers or candy or get well card or
massage.
Nothing.
Massage.
You know this anger you're feeling? Use it. Use
it. Borderline sanity. No, I think that maybe that's an acting trick I'll use in the future is to hit myself over the head before I go on set.
That's memorable.
Works for writing.
Whatever gets you into character.
I think being naked was memorable for me. It was more embarrassing than cold.
For me too. Watching that was very memorable.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Exquisitely framed by director Melanie Scrofano, may I say.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
good.
I still owe her money for that, I think.
Zoe, you got any memorable recollections of your time?
Yes, the whole thing. The entire 2 episodes. Yeah. I mean, I've never played a character like Jolene in my whole career, so I mean, it was terrifying and exciting, and like there was nothing I wasn't given to try. You know, I was singing. I was like, it was an incredible experience, and on a set with really grounded, cool, talented, you know, it's a really good set. So it was just a complete pleasure. But it was a character I didn't know how to come at first. Yeah. So it took me a second to kind of go, what am I doing? But yeah, lots of fun. So memorable, all of it. Yeah.
Right on. So,
iconic.
Kate, how about you?
It's so hard to pick, you know, because I kind of go back and forth, like, what is it? Is it the scene with Tim in the bar that I love the most, or is it the fight with Shamir that I love the most? And I have to say, I always come back to the fight with Shamir.
That was amazing.
It was like that is a highlight of my career, is that day and those days leading up to it, learning the choreography and then being trusted to do it myself with Shamir. Which I was like, please just let me do it. Please just let me do it. And they had someone in who was like a professional MMA fighter as my stunt double. And I was like, no, please let me do this. And I don't know if it's like my competitive side came out or whatever. And I was like so jacked up on adrenaline. But I was like, Shamir, I really want to do this. I think we could do this together. And I was just shaking when it was done. And I remember going up to Emily and I was like,
oh yeah.
It was like, this is the best feeling. I've never done anything like it. So it was just so thrilling, and I guess most of all, it was just the fact that I was trusted with it, and that to me as an actor was just so flattering, and you know, it's such an incredible set to be on, and to feel like I got to just really dive in and do what I do best, which is the physicality, was just such a gift. So I'll always hold that day in my heart and in my aching body.
Fair. Yeah. Absolutely fair. So, Tamara, have we heard from you yet?
There's just so many. There's so many great moments. I just like working with Tim is so fun. Working with Mel, like everyone's just like Zoe said, everyone's grounded. Everyone's ready to work. Everyone is like, it's like a family. Mm-hmm. But I would say, I think the most memorable in the last season, it was so cold this one day. And we were on the rock outside, and it was like we couldn't even function. Like my mouth couldn't move, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this working in Calgary. Like
you can't speak. You can't actually speak.
You're like, like, can I get a hot pad on my mouth?
Yeah.
Like use it. And then it was a gust that came in that was so frigid, and then it just went away. It was like weird, but that was memorable. The fight scene with Mel was pretty awesome, and doing the choreography, and that was a lot of fun. And I love the fact that, you know, they just trust us to get it done, and trust us as actors to, you know, bring what we have to the table. And it's just such a pleasure being on the show.
Awesome. Very awesome. Kat, bring us home.
Have a good one, Kat.
Yeah, Kat, you're on mute.
You're on. No, Kat.
Kat, you're muted.
Mute.
I'm muted because I'm trying to scold my dog because I have a grilled cheese sandwich in my hand because I was so behind. I'm trying to eat my lunch and he's begging, he's being very naughty. So and my computer's gonna die. So I'm like a mess. Give me 1 second.
Oh my God! Give Bernie the sandwich.
Oh God, I know, right? That's all I want. Like, I'm not gonna leave you alone. Give me the sandwich.
Can any Earper?
I didn't want to be rude and interrupt anybody, so I've been like sitting here trying to. My favorite memory, one of the ones I really enjoyed from this season. I remember this day. It was the day that Tamara's talking about, actually, where you were shooting on that big rock.
Yeah.
which is called like the Big Rock or has some really obvious. I forget. Emily, do you remember what it's called? It's like a big rock that like a glacier brought in.
Yeah, I remember we called it like Steve Gulch. Maybe?
Oh, Steve Gulch. But in real life, it's like an actual.
Oh, it's got a really weird name. It's like the Okotoks Redundant. Does that sound right? I might have made that up. It's got a really weird name. I'm
Really
Googling.
weird
Keep
name.
talking. I'm Googling.
So we were shooting at this like horse barn, and we were ahead of schedule, which is like so crazy rare. And so they wanted to shoot. So I was shooting on green screen all the Ghost Nicole stuff when I was in the Reaper Billy's body, but we were ahead. So they erected this green screen in the middle of the horse barn. So just imagine like the smell of manure and lots of dust, like a horse arena. And so they put up the green screen in the middle arena. It was absolutely freezing. And I was in like that little tiny dress, and I had never seen Billy do the Reaper stuff, but I had to match his like, I didn't know the lines because we weren't supposed to shoot it that day. And I had to match his body movements and his intonation, but I'd never seen him do it before. So it was like Ron on this microphone and then like feeding me the lines, and they would play it and I would just mimic it. And he'd be like, oh, he kind of like moved his shoulder and like move your body. And it was one of those days where I was just like, this is so insane. But I love it because all you can do is sort of surrender to the whole, like there's no way to control any of that. So you just have to be like, I'm just going to be here and trust these crazy things, because like I have no scope of how this is going to look and I didn't really understand. And it was one of those moments where it's just like, just trusting your team. And because we've worked together for so long, we build this like common language because we all know the show, and there's so much trust amongst all of us of like, okay, if you say this is going to work, I trust you. Like, let's just do it. So that was a really memorable moment for me from this past season.
Awesome. Very awesome. Lee, thank you. That was a wonderful question to start us off with. Let's see what we have next.
Thanks,
and
Lee.
this comes from Laura. What would you say is your character's Achilles heel and or weakness?
None.
I really don't think Mercedes has a weakness. I don't think Mercedes would think she has a weakness.
No.
Bobo's is easy. It's Peacemaker.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's his weakness.
True.
And the border of the triangle. So.
Plus, he has conflicted feelings about the Earp girls, though.
Then there's emotional Achilles heel. It's his heart.
Aww.
His dead heart.
I think Lucado's Achilles heel is the need to have everything in control. Some semblance of controls to avoid sort of dealing with her actual heart. I feel like that's always Lucado's thing. From way back when, back yonder. I just feel like that's her thing.
Fair. Absolutely fair. Who's got another?
I mean, I think like Nicole has a little bit of that too. The like need to have everything, be able to fix everything, and when she can't, it's really hard for her. We saw a lot of that in her in the beginning of season 4, and how she really fell apart when she felt like she couldn't follow through on her duty to people and the people she loved in her town. And I think Waverly is really her Achilles heel too. Like she just can't.
She's mine as well.
In love with her and can't say no, and will do anything, even if it's against her better judgment, to make her happy.
I think Waverly's everyone's Achilles heel.
Very true. Greg, how about you?
Tequila.
Nedley has a white knight syndrome. I think that sort of goes hand in hand to him wanting to be sheriff and protect as many people as he can, and I think that's probably his weakness. Too much empathy, maybe.
Fair. Tamara, how about you?
I disagree.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's I just with Rosita, I don't know. Like I feel like it would be just wanting to be loved and accepted. Really, I feel like she's always like searching for that in a weird way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So her baggage.
Yeah. Lots of
Her
baggage.
abandonment issues.
Your abandonment issues.
As we all have. We all got them. We all got them.
Zoe, how about you? You want to stick to Waverly?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's certainly Waverly, but it's her and the what she can have that Jolene can never have. You know, she elicits this love and this sort of thing that Jolene just is never able to reach or access, as far as I could tell. You know, it's the whole speech of I crawled out of the muck. You know, it was just that and the truth is her Achilles heel. It's love and the truth and Waverly, and you know,
there it is. She's
looking for something that proves her wrong, but it's not there. You know,
right? Fair. Emily, let me put this challenge to you. A character whose actor is not here. Pick one, and from your perspective, what would their Achilles heel or weakness be?
Who do you guys want me to do?
Tim.
Varun.
Doc doesn't think he deserves love. Doc is changing his mind about what it is to be strong and what it is to be a man in this new world. Varun, Jeremy, his weakness, I think, unfortunately, he thinks the world is better than it is sometimes. Calamity Jane, no opposable thumbs. No opposable thumbs. Can't work the remote.
So frustrating.
So frustrating. You're like, oh, thanks for you left it on HGTV again all day? Thanks a lot.
Awesome. Laura, thank you. Wonderful question. And let's go ahead and take another question. And this comes from Sarah. Who inspired you all to become actors or writers?
Wow, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a good one. Some of the fans know this story, but I was really little. I was like 7 or 8, and this movie was shooting at a location near my house, and there was an actor. His name's David Beecroft, and some fans have since tracked him down and like got away for me to contact him. I've been too chicken to write him, but I have to do it because he took me. I was standing on the side watching, and I still remember like the exact shot. It was just this car pulling up to a house, but I remember like the crane, and I was just like so in awe of the magic. And he took me into the house, and it was a murder mystery, and he was like showing me the set and how they were setting it up for the story. And he's like, yeah, so it's like this mystery that we're trying to solve. And I was just so fascinated by the whole process of it. And I need to contact him and tell him that because I don't think obviously he has no idea that him just taking this little girl aside and showing her the magic of this movie set all these years later.
How old were you?
I think I was like 7 or 8.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. But I remember it, and I never saw the movie. And then somebody, when I told this story in a panel, somebody sent me the link. It was in French, but I watched it, and I saw the shot. Like, I remembered the shot.
Wow.
It was really incredible.
That's so generous.
Yeah. Huge moment for me.
Oh, wow. That's
it's great.
Well, mine's easy. Mine's my ex-wife.
Oh.
She inspired me. I wasn't going to be an actor, and then she told me before we were married. I met her, and she was like, "If you want to be an actor, go be an actor." And I said, "I don't know if I can act." And she said, "Well, let's go find out."
Aw.
And then we divorced.
Nice. And then we divorced.
She was right, and then we divorced.
That's all right.
But I can honestly say if she didn't, I could think of an actor's work who inspired me, but to pay respect to the real person, if she didn't tell me that I could do it, then I probably wouldn't be talking to you on this screen right now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Fair. Absolutely fair.
In grade 8, I did a play called Feud and Fun. I played Grandpa, and
Wow, talk about
a character actor right from the start. But I don't really remember who inspired me, but I remember when I was in my late 20s. I've been an actor ever since grade 8, and I remember the moment I was in my late 20s when I stopped acting. I stopped loving acting for the applause and the response,
That's for the
and
money.
the result and the money. No money. I was doing live theater, and I started doing it just for the love of the work, and not for the rewards. You know, I think that's what. I think that's the reason I'm still an actor.
So you inspired yourself, Greg.
Well, circumstances.
Ooh,
I think it was.
That's a great
I think it was. I think it was more than one person. I think it was an ensemble cast. It was at Stratford. Was that moment? We were doing a bunch of Shakespeare.
So the collaboration.
It was the collaboration. It was the ensemble. It was the whole idea that it's never one person. It's always 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Even if you're doing a one-man show, it's never one person. It's always the stage manager, the writer, the guy holding the spotlight. It's always an ensemble of people.
Yeah, good answer.
And I think that's what made me stick to it.
Right on. Excellent.
I don't.
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go.
But I mean, a lot of the people watching probably know the story already, so I'll make it kind of quick. But I only actually took my first acting class when I was 30, and I was a school teacher at the time. And I think little moments throughout my life were sort of planting seeds in my sort of artist garden that only started to bloom in my 30s. Like the play that I saw when I was 7 was Oklahoma. And when I was the cowardly lion in the play in grade 4, and I was, sort of all these little moments that meant so much to me. And so when I first started taking acting classes, when I was 30, I was married at the time. So kind of like Michael, my ex-husband actually, and sort of the situation I was in sort of pushed me into this need to go into a class or a group or be in a community where I could express myself and be okay with that. And where it was like a safe place to get out everything that I was feeling, because I was feeling very stifled in my life. And so fast forward a few years, 5 years, I was doing classes in Ottawa, and I was doing community theater and volunteering at theaters and things like that. And then I was teaching my students at the time. We were studying Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech. And so my kids were from pretty troubled backgrounds and had seen sort of more in their little lives than we will in 10 lives. It was, some of them were really, really not feeling so positive. And so we were, making dream posters and all of this. And one of my students came up to me and she said, "Miss Drummond, what's your dream?" And I said, "Well, besides teaching you, I guess my dream is to be an actress." And she said, "Well, then why aren't you doing it?" And it was just like this moment of, how can I stand here and teach these kids this lesson? And I'm kind of hedging my bets in my own life. Like, I'm playing it so safe. And I was tired and I needed a break from teaching at the same time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a year off, move to Toronto, throw myself into classes in this crazy business as a 35-year-old woman with like next to no experience. And that was like 10 years ago.
Wow. Do you miss teaching at all?
Do I miss it?
Yeah.
Every day.
Do you?
But I love it. Like, I love it as much as I love acting. So it's sort of I'm always trying to find a way that I can make the two sort of blend.
So your answer is that student.
It is that student.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna take an acting class when I'm 30. I just decided. I got
Me too.
Scary. It's scary to take an acting class when you're 30, and you're like,
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Oh, dude, I took an improv class with Melanie Scrofano, and I was like, bleep, blop, bloop, I'm out. It was so hard. It was so hard. And like real actors, you all know. And I was like, do. They were like, get out. And I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Really? You're so fast though. Like you're.
No, they were like, get out, but I like faked like 10 weeks of food poisoning. I was so scared. I think acting, listen, I'm not trying to suck up to any of you, but I'm saying acting is so much harder than I think people know. It's so hard to put yourself out there. You just
Isn't everything harder than people know, though?
Yes.
You know what? Like everyone's job, people are like, oh, well. But like then you have 5 minutes and you're like, oh, I see.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah,
that's shoe salesman. You're like, nope, this is too hard. Yeah.
I want to point this out to any future actors who are watching this right now, young people. When I took an acting class, my teacher told me I would never work.
I love it.
In front of 300 other peers and other people taking the class. In front of the class, the acting coach said, "You'll never work as an actor. You're horrible, and you shouldn't do this.
And you look bad in fur."
And in 300 people, I told her, "I think you're wrong."
Wow.
And I stuck it out. So anybody who's listening or watching this, just do what you want to do. Don't listen to people.
So Michael, you started later in life too then? Like you started...
I got into this, I consider January 1st of 2000. So I've been doing this for 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's awfully easy for someone else to say you're not going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's awfully easy in life, and some people, I don't know why they do it, but they do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I was paying this. I was paying this person. I was paying to take this class.
Yeah.
I had somebody describe acting to me as standing in the middle of the stage in front of 5,000 people, standing there naked, and then turning around slowly.
Oh God!
That's the definition of an actor.
Like this.
Accurate.
That's my definition of life.
Want to do that for a living.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about right.
See, I could do that easier on set than I can in real life.
Yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
Put a camera in front of me. I'll
100%. 100%.
Put me in my real life.
Yeah, live theater is something else.
Oh my God. This is why I admire you though. Put a camera on me and I'm like that person in Seinfeld who's like, how do our arms walk when we walk? It's like I've never ever figured out how to do.
Yeah, but it's a flip. Yeah, that means you're more comfortable in your real life than you are on set.
Yes,
where I'm more comfortable on set than I am in real life.
I think I'm more comfortable being an idiot, being myself. I think that's true.
So
That's most actors, isn't it? Like most actors can do things on set that they could never
do.
Because
that's like the beauty of it. That's what I love about it. I love the safety net of it. I love the ability to have, like, as somebody who's not like a very extroverted person in life, I love the permission almost.
I know.
The ovaries it takes. The ovaries it takes. You have to be so brave though. You guys are brave.
No, but it's actually the opposite. We're not, because we hide behind characters so that we can feel like we can do something or feel confident hiding.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
I write stories that are like Escape 2 in a weird way though, right? Yeah. Like name all your villains after your enemies from Grade 2, stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh man.
We're all brave. We're all brave.
We're
all brave and we're all scared.
That's true.
So going back to inspiration, Zoe, what was some of your inspirations?
I mean, tons and tons. I don't certainly have a story where someone invited me onto set, but I was sort of doing plays in the backyard when I lived in England and would invite the street over to see my backyard plays on my swing set. And then at some point I realized that the thing I was doing was a thing you could do. Like I didn't know that you could do that for a living. And then I would watch a movie and talk to my parents, and they would explain that those are actors and they're pretending. And I was like, I pretend all the time. I realized that it was just what I was sort of doing. I'd wanted to be an actor since I could, I don't have a memory of, except for once I wanted to have a coffee shop when I was about 7. But since then, I just wanted to act. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
It was the donuts that made you want to have a coffee shop, right?
I don't know what happened. I one day I was like, I'm going to own a coffee shop. And my parents were like, right on, good for you. And then at some point that went away. Never
Oh my God.
That was good.
Yeah.
Danny, what gave you the inspiration?
I was in high school, and my drama teacher brought a grade 12 actor in, and she did a monologue. And in the monologue, she transformed into this woman who had special needs, and then transformed when she was done back to herself. And when she was done, I was like, oh, that's what I'm going to do. I just knew from that. And then I went on to be a social worker and work with people with special needs for like 9 years while I was trying to be an actor. So I ended up I think being more inspired from her that moment than I realized at the time. But yeah, that's what happened.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it was very cool.
And Tamara, how about you?
I would say I've always wanted to do it, but then there's like the being a first generation Canadian, like my parents were immigrants and just didn't have the time. I'm like, I want to do this, and I want to get an agent, and I want to do commercials, and I was like really young, and they're just like, we don't have the time, like we can't. So my older sister, she's 10 years older than me, she took me downtown. I was like 12 at the time. We had no clue what we were doing. She had no clue what she was doing, but she was just being a big sister. And she just like, I got an agent, and then it never really transpired until I would say after university, because I was always juggling with like, I'm going to get into the real world. And I loved marketing, and I loved the history of marketing and where we were as a society. And I was always really interested in the psychology behind marketing. And that was like something I really wanted to do and get into. And then I had like the aha moment. I was in my last year of university, and I'm just like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. And I did. And I just, kind of just found my way through the industry, like took a lot of classes, and it wasn't like a specific, I would say I maybe like the most specific moment I can remember is it being in grade 8, and I auditioned for The Sound of Music, and I thought I was horrible, and I actually booked the part, and I'm like, oh, this is something that I could do. Like, I'm actually good at this. I don't know how many things I'm good at, but I think I'm good at this. So yeah, and then from there, it's always something that's always been like a burning candle in my life. And then the struggle between like the two of like trying to be normal, not normal, but like do what my parents wanted me to do, and do like, obviously they're worried. They're like, what are you doing with your life? So, and it comes from a really good place, but it's just following your heart and your intuition. And wherever that may lead you, it may lead you in different places at different times in your life, and that's okay. But it's just like really trying to talk to yourself and listen to yourself and figure out where that place is.
Next time your parents ask you that, tell them to call me, and I'll be like, she's fucking crushing it.
Right?
Got your back.
Yeah, crazy.
Absolutely.
Just, like, getting in my car going that way, and they're like, where are you going? Why are you leaving us?
Just prank call them and say that. Just prank call them and be like, she's fucking crushing it. And then like 4 a.m.
Right now.
Right now.
Something else.
Yeah, I actually had my ex-brother-in-law was like, brought me to tears at one point. He was just like, what are you doing? He's like, this isn't you. Why do you want to do, like, he just totally grilled me to the point of like feeling like this big, and I'm just like, it's the,
sounds cool.
I'm very defiant, and I'm just like, well, I don't care. Like, I'll cry, I'll get over it. and then I'll just move on. Really.
Have they seen anything that you've done? Have they seen what you've?
Oh yeah, they're like now. My parents
now they've turned around
in Portugal, but they have like my headshots. Oh yeah, in the family room.
You're like the favorite kid. Did you sign it for it or not yet? Are you like
no, I don't know.
We'll see.
And then they'll FaceTime me randomly to show me to people, and I'm like, I'm in my towel. Can we like
a little heads up?
We'll if your parents want to purchase one through us, we'll give them 10% off.
Oh,
there you go.
That's very kind.
10%.
Because we like you. So, Emily, who was your inspiration?
A million different people, but I would say mostly my mom, Katie, 4'11", fierce lady. She was like a criminologist and worked in Canada's jails. She really, I just realized looking back that storytelling was really valued in my household. And I mean, just like being able to tell a funny story around the dinner table was kind of important. But my mom and my dad are really prolific readers, but they also love TV, and they're not snobs. Like, I always say I grew up on like Days of Our Lives, my mom loved all types of storytelling. But because I grew up in Calgary, I definitely thought writing for TV was something done by other people who lived in Hollywood. And I got a degree in English, and then I thought I might be a lawyer. And my mom was like, maybe not. And found this program at Ryerson University in Toronto that does TV and radio arts, it was called.
Is that where you went?
That's when I went, yeah.
I nearly applied to that program.
It was pretty crazy. It was really fun. I still know a lot of people from there. It was good. It was like just hilarious and fun, and it just kind of broke it down for me. But I would say looking back, it was definitely just how much my parents loved film and TV and books. They just loved a good story. So I love a good story.
Right on.
You write a good story.
Oh, thanks.
I very much think so. Sarah, thank you. That was a wonderful question. And GalaxyCon viewers, this has been my time with the cast of Wynonna Earp. Ladies and gentlemen, any final words for our audience before we go?
Emily, you just made me feel a lot less guilty for letting my kids watch so much TV.
Oh, no, it's good. It's fine.
It's all helping.
That's just such a nice perspective, though, that your family gave you that gift through their love. I think that's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. And thank you.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon for season 4B.
Yeah.
4B.
That was my so quick.
I would say
4B or not 4B? That's the question.
It went too fast.
Hopefully sooner than you hope, but don't tell anyone I said that.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. It's really nice to get to connect with all of you guys and all you guys.
Aww.
I know.
It has been my absolute pleasure to serve you all today. Once again, thank you for joining us at the GalaxyCon virtual stage. Thank you to our audience for joining us, and thank you for all your great questions. Hope to see you all again soon. Until then, bye-bye, everyone. Take care, and please keep washing those hands.